Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna have a bit of a chat to you about graduation, about finishing uni and all things design school, because last week, if you didn't see my vlog or you don't follow me anywhere else, you might not know, but I graduated officially last week. So I am officially a design school graduate, which is really exciting. I put out a Q&A on Twitter asking people for some questions that they might have about graduation or about finishing uni or anything like that, so I'm gonna answer them now. So the first question is from Hannah. She's Hannah Creative on Twitter. She asked, what was the most valuable lesson you learned at design school, and did someone else teach you or did you discover it on your own? I learned so many things at design school, so it's hard to narrow down to the most valuable, but I learned a lot about my own process and how I work as a designer and how I kind of enjoy different environments as a designer and that sort of thing. But I also learnt how important it is to look after yourself, just as a human being, however you're working, but particularly in the design and tech industry. It's really easy to be convinced that it's great to stay up all night or work in the weekends or all of these types of things, and especially as someone like me who has side projects and things that they want to work on all the time, it's really easy to get caught up in those sorts of things and want to work all the time and not put time aside to look after yourself or spend time with your friends and family. So I learnt, especially in my last year, which was the most stressful, that I'm way more productive and it's better for me if I work in a more productive way that allows me to have time for myself, to give myself, that it's important to give myself a break every so often, put the computer down, either work on something analog, do some lettering or something, or spend time with my boyfriend or my family, ring my mum and dad, go out for a walk with my friend, all those sorts of things. Those things are equally as important as finishing your degree or as working, and if not more important, because you can't do the job properly or well or to your best ability if you're not happy and you're not looking after yourself. And I think I learned that from watching the people around me and my own experiences. It wasn't necessarily something somebody taught me or I taught myself, it was just something I discovered, if that makes sense. Kind of an experiential learning about myself and about the world. Hannah also asked, knowing what you know now, is there anything you would do differently when it comes to choosing your school / course / projects? I would not change the university I went to. I loved going to Massey, and the programs that they have and the teachers and the students was awesome, and I loved it so much. I think there's kind of two ways you can go with your study. You can be someone who is a bit of a design unicorn and kind of studies a wide range of things, and you kind of get an understanding of all sorts of things, and I think that's a really great way to use the time you have to make the most of it, right? Get the most varied amount of information and learning as you can, because you probably won't get as much time to do that afterwards or when you're working. But for me, I knew what I wanted to do, and I'm glad that I did a variety, but there were some papers that I probably could have swapped out for more type related things. I obviously love typography, and so I would have loved to just be a really focus my study on typography. But the fact that I also got to work on websites and animations and illustrations and branding things and all those other things that I did feed into my design now. So I guess I probably wouldn't change anything, to be honest, because it's all made me the designer that I am today. And I think if this question is kind of an ask for advice, I think it depends on what you want to do. If you know that you want to niche down and be a typographer, or you want to be an illustrator, then you can niche down and do that. But if you want to kind of soak up all the knowledge that you can, it's also just as valid an option to do that too. So I wouldn't change any of that, I think. I potentially would have changed my major project because I think I tried to do something that was like different from what I normally do, but things I normally do is type. But I kind of wish I'd just done what I loved and what I wanted to do. Like, I loved my project and it was fun and challenging, but I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had just embraced what I'm good at and what I love and kind of challenged that further rather than trying to do something completely left field. So yeah, but overall I wouldn't change anything because it was a brilliant experience and it's made me who I am now. Next question comes from Nick, and he says, what is the plan from here? So there's kind of a lot of plans happening at the moment. So I've obviously been working as a designer for a while. I was at the end of last year when I was studying, I was working for a company called Crystal Nix doing UX and UI design there, and then that company moved to Auckland and I didn't want to go there, so I left that job and was co-running Design Gel, which I still am at the moment, which is a design agency. So I've been contracting through that job for a while, but I'm potentially looking at doing a full-time job through that contract with the same people I'm doing that contract job through. But I have also just started Black and White Studios, which is my typography and hand lettering studio. So I'm kind of working on these two things at the same time, and I also have another startup idea for like a digital product, so I might work on that too. So there's lots of things in the work. I'm also still designing for C3 Church, so I'm a very busy human. So that's my plan, is to maybe work full time, get some money to support Black and White Studios, and so I can keep making products and doing exhibitions and stuff, and we'll see what happens from there. The last question is from Alex, and she asked me, how did or how will you celebrate? So on the day of my graduation, I celebrated by spending time with my parents and my boyfriend Sam. So they were all here and came along to my graduation, and we hung out in the afternoon and the next day, but we also went out for a really lovely dinner on that night, and my parents bought me a Parker pen, which, if you know me, is like heaven. So that was like a really beautiful gift from them for me as like a celebration. I also got some flowers from Sam's parents that were like magnificent. They were so beautiful. They're still alive and I'm obsessed with them. So I just had a really great couple of days spending time with my family and celebrating. And I think, like, this is gonna sound really cheesy, but my whole life is gonna, from now on, my career is a celebration of like my time at uni. It was such a great experience and I achieved so much, and I'm so proud of what I did. So now I'm gonna celebrate that by doing my best in my career and trying to make the most of it. So yeah, I don't really have any ongoing celebration plans. Oh, I do have a plan to get a tattoo to commemorate it, and I'm quite excited. It's super nerdy, but I'm looking forward to it. Cool, so that is all the questions that we have time for today that I'm gonna answer. So I hope that that kind of gave you a quick little more insight into graduation and my plans moving forward. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions about graduation or design school, I would love to answer questions about that, and I do love answering questions about design school, and I just want to help you have the best experience you can if you're at design school or thinking about it. So yeah, hit me up, let me know if you've got any questions, or if you're studying, how's it going? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to chat to you. Otherwise, as always, I hope you guys are being creative and productive, and I'll see you next week with another video. Toodles! Bye.